I don't even know what my notes mean. Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Nikki, and today's video is going to be going over the WW app, also known as Weight Watchers. So I had a lot of people on my last video where I just talked about the overview of getting started on WW, and I can link that video in the description as well if you're interested in starting WW or you just recently started. It's just some of my tips that I think are really helpful when getting started with the program. But today I'm just going to be going over the app specifically. So if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. And let's go ahead and get started talking about the WW app. So I personally just use the digital program through WW. That is all I have done since I started Weight Watchers almost 21 months ago. So I've gotten really comfortable using this app, and I really just think it's a great tool overall for weight loss. I'm just gonna start kind of with the basics and then talk about a few different tips or different features that I like to use the most. This is the home screen of the WW app. And I think it'll probably be easier if I just show a screen recording, so I'll probably keep holding this up, but I'll try to pop a screen recording on the screen as well. But anyway, so I already have my food tracked for today, except for dinner, but I think I know what I'm making, so I think I can go ahead and track that to show you guys. But the main point of the app is to use it for tracking your food, for tracking portion sizes, and like I've mentioned before, WW is a point system. It's not calories, it's points that are based off of a few different things based on the nutrition facts. So calories, saturated fat, protein, fiber, and sugar, as well as they do look at healthier fats and rate them differently based on the type of food. But anyway, so the newest thing with the front of this app is that they added a veggie tab and a water tab. And that is how you track throughout the day your veggies and water, which those are the two ways you can earn points other than activity points, but those go into your weeklies, whereas the other two go into your dailies. So you'll see veggies. You can just go ahead with the veggies and hit the plus, and that will give you a serving of veggies. So personally, I like to do that because I don't usually track my 0-point foods. If you track your 0-point foods, a lot of times they will automatically go into the veggie points and then it'll just add to the dailies themselves. But if you're not gonna do that, you can just hit the plus button and then add the serving of veggies if you know you had it. Same with the water. So when you hit 60 ounces of water, you gain a point back. So a lot of times I end up catching up later in the day, but you can just hit the plus arrow, and then once you hit 60 ounces, it'll give you the point back. Now, one thing that's nice with the water option is that you can actually hit the setting button right next to it. And if you click that, you can do custom serving sizes. So for me personally, I drink a 10-ounce glass of water if I'm drinking a quick glass of water, or I drink my half gallon, which I'm not that behind actually. You can go ahead and customize the serving size you want to track. So say every time you drink water, you drink a 16-ounce water bottle or something. You can have it in increments of 16 ounces, and you can just scroll through and pick what you want the increments to be. For me personally, 10 ounces works the best, so that's just what I've left it at. Okay, so going into tracking foods. What you're gonna do is you'll see the bar at the top that says the plus sign, it says track food. So you're gonna click into that, and there's a few different options for tracking food. The one that I probably use the most, other than just the search bar, which if you click search for food to track, you can go ahead and type in, say I wanna track a Fiber One bar that I had earlier today. Fiber One 70 calorie chocolate bar. That's something I've tracked before, so I just click on that and then I will put it in my snacks. So you'll see that you pick one serving. For mealtime, it goes breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. So I want to track it as a snack. I click that. It's for today. I hit track food. So that automatically just went to my snack section and I tracked 2 points. Another way you can track something is using the barcode scanner. So if you click that, the camera will pop up and then you can go ahead and scan a barcode of any snack. I don't have any food up here with me to scan, but if you were going to scan it, you'd scan the barcode label on the food. That food will pop up the same way that it popped up for the Fiber One bar when I typed it in, and then you'll pick the serving size you want to track, the meal you're tracking it at, and the day, which is usually the day of. That's with the barcode scanner. There are some times where maybe we go out to eat and I just know that I'm eating, I'll just pick a number. I kind of can calculate it in my head and I'll think okay, this is probably a 30-point meal. So say you click quick add, say I want to track sushi, we had a sushi lunch or something. I just want to pick 30 points because I calculated it in my head and I'm not going to do each individual ingredient. That's just the most accurate way for me personally to do it, and that's what I like to do. So sushi, I'm going to choose 30 points, hit the lunch, or say we had it for dinner, switch it to dinner, today, and then track. Then the last option you can do is you can create your own food. So you'll hit the create button, you'll hit create food, and that's when you can just enter the nutrition information. So recently, especially with the switch, we are finding that a lot of the foods scan incorrectly. So like a barbell, we would scan, it would come up as like 4 points or something. And then when we actually entered the nutrition, it went up to 5 or 6 points. And so that's this section. You can go ahead and enter all of the nutrition. You are required to enter everything that it shows. So sometimes it won't say added sugar, and if it doesn't, you just put a 0 for that one just so that it actually goes through. But everything else you should put a value for. You can name it. You can choose the serving. So if you just want to do 1 serving, I find it easier if you switch it to like grams or ounces or whatever the label says. But that's just what you can do, and then you'll add your own food that way. And like I mentioned, a lot of times we've just been double checking it because our foods have not been all scanning accurately. So that's just a good tool to track. That's probably the most accurate way to track every time, but that's a lot of work. The barcode scanner is really convenient, but a lot of times it's important to just kind of double check the label that you have in front of you with what's scanned on the barcode. So that's how you track food. That's how you track your water and your veggies. So if you're looking at my screen, you'll see 32 weeklies remaining, 9 dailies remaining, and 18 dailies used. That will just be accurate for the day of. You can go back a day. It'll show you how many you used, how many you had remaining, how many points you added. And if I would have gone over, it would have taken out of my weeklies. So if today I were to go over on my daily points, if I use maybe 12 points instead of the 9 I have remaining, it'll take from my weekly bank of 32. Now, another thing that's helpful in the app is using the recipe builder. So from your front screen, if you just scroll all the way down to the bottom, there is a little square that's titled Explore. It says everything you need to know. So it shows recipes, restaurants, your 0 point foods, and shopping WW snacks. So that'll just take you to the WW store if you want to buy any of their products. If you click into recipes, then you can search past recipes you've added. You can add new ones. So you can click save if you saved any other recipes. Sometimes people can link recipes, so it just translates the points directly into the app. That's where your saved recipes were going to be. You can hit created by you. This is all my custom recipes that I have made, and then you can create a new recipe. So when you're doing this, say I'm going to do my apple dip. If I want to create that as a recipe, I've never done that before. So I'm going to name it apple dip because I know that's what it is. It serves 1 because I always just make 1 serving for me. And then you're going to hit add ingredients. So the first ingredient I know is a light and fit toasted coconut vanilla yogurt. So I'm gonna go ahead and add 1 container. You can add instructions to the ingredients, but I'm not gonna do that. So then you're gonna hit add again. I like to add some honey, and I usually weigh it out in grams, so I will switch it to grams. And then I usually just do like 5 grams of honey, so then I will add that ingredient. Then I'm gonna add some nuts and more because that's what I've been using when I make it. Toffee crunch. Except I'm only going to do 1 tablespoon, add ingredient, and then technically that is all the ingredients that have points. If you wanted to, you could continue adding things that have 0 points. So like I actually add some cinnamon, which is an ingredient on here. Say I want to do like a half teaspoon. If I actually wanted the full recipe in here, I could just do that so I know it, but the 0 point foods you don't technically have to track. And then that's all that I make for my apple dip. I'm gonna go ahead and hit create, and then that is a new recipe that I have saved. It is 5 points for 1 serving, and then I could just say I wanna track that in my snacks. I actually had it yesterday, so you can actually go back and track yesterday, and then you're gonna hit track recipe. So with that as well, say you're creating a recipe, from here you can also use the barcode scanner. So I was typing in the ingredients myself, but you can also hit the barcode scanner to the right and scan whatever ingredients you want to scan. And then also on the same page that I started on, you'll just see that you can discover a bunch of different recipes. So we have found a few on here, but there is just such a good collection. Everything's by points, so it's pretty easy to just add it. You can make an entire meal plan out of all these recipes, honestly, if they are recipes you enjoy. So that's just a good thing to kind of look through. There's another tool, and I honestly haven't used this much, but I know it would be helpful if I was struggling to come up with something to make for dinner, and that is the What's in Your Fridge tab. And so that's actually right on the Discover recipe page. You just hit What's in Your Fridge, and you can add whatever ingredients you want. So like right now it has a bunch of different egg ingredients, but say I don't have that, say I wanna, you can even scroll through, they have suggested things. So I know I have mayonnaise, turkey, rice, avocado, flour, cheese, onions, broccoli. So I know I have all those things. So I entered all of them and I left egg noodles because that was one that they already had on there. You can also make it however many points you want to. So say I only want a recipe that's going to be up to 8 points. And then you can also exclude any ingredients. So say I don't want it to have any sour cream in it, then I can select that. Then you'll just hit view recipes. Then it went ahead and gave me a bunch of different recipe suggestions that have all these ingredients. They don't include the ingredients I selected, and they are within 8 points for the serving. Then the next thing I'm going to talk about, if you just go back from the recipes page and click into restaurants. So when you click into restaurants, 2 options pop up. It says points or restaurant name. So what you can do is you can hit points. You can pick a point range. So say it's the end of the day, you're stopping at a restaurant and you only have 7 points left. So you want to find something within 5 and 7 points. I hit that. And then it gives me all these different restaurant options and their foods that are between 5 and 7 points. I honestly never really used that one. I really prefer to use the restaurant name because usually we know where we're going. So a lot of times, say I'm going to Chipotle, I will just scroll down and look through all these recipes. I will hit Chipotle, and then it's actually pretty easy to just build your Chipotle bowl using this. So I know I like steak on mine, so I can track the steak. Then I can do the black bean topping, even though that's 0 points. I like to add the romaine is 0. The sour cream is 6 points if I'm gonna order that. So pretty much you could just build your bowl based on that. And this tab was something that actually helped Adam and I way more in the beginning because that was when we were eating out a lot more. And this was so eye-opening to us because we did not realize how many points we were really eating at restaurants. Like, I've mentioned this before, but let's see, Sonic. So they have a peanut butter shake that we used to get all the time. We used to get the large peanut butter fudge shake. It was 98 points. And we used to have that all the time. We would go work out and then we would come home and have a 98 point shake and really not realize it. But anyway, that is how we realized a lot of different restaurant foods we were eating in the points for them. So that's just a little helpful tip. If you go to restaurants a lot, or even if you don't go to a lot and you need to find good options, it's a good way to look at the points that way. Then the next thing on that little explore section, your 0 point foods. If you click that, that's just gonna give you all of your 0 point foods that you have. So I know there's a lot of confusion. People aren't really sure what their 0 point foods are sometimes. You can just go through. So mine are non-starchy vegetables, and I can see all of the different non-starchy vegetables, starchy veggies, fruits. I have proteins, so it shows beans, eggs, poultry, yogurt, and cottage cheese, and then grains because I have oatmeal. Maybe you're finding that you're not full all the time and you want to start incorporating more 0 point foods. This is a good way to even get some good ideas. And if you look at the top of the 0 point food page, there is a little pencil. If you click that, you can start over your 0 point foods. You can retake the assessment, so it'll get you started. You just will tell why you want to switch up your 0 point foods. It'll give you a few options. So you could say, I'm more curious about a different mix. Go to the engine, and then you start answering the questions again to get new 0 point foods. Another thing I want to talk about is if you look at the bottom, there are 4 little pictures. So right now we're on the first one. If you hit the second one, that is the present. That is wellness wins. Anytime you track a meal, breakfast, lunch, or dinner, anytime you track activity or sleep, you get 5 points of wellness wins, and every time you do a weekly weigh-in, you get 25 wellness wins. So they really do start to add up, and that way you just can get rewards. And this is the page that you redeem them. So I have 5,395 right now. If I click browse rewards, it's by tier, and you can just see all of the different options. There are different things you can redeem, gift cards, different trials to things, or you can also just donate your wins. You could donate food for families in need. You can donate produce. Like, there's different things you can do on here. And it's just good to know that you have your wellness wins to spend. So that's pretty much all this page is for. Then if you hit the next tab, that's just the Discover tab. So that's gonna be a lot of different articles about different healthy habits. It's gonna help you, even if you look right here, it's talking about mindset, it's talking about getting better sleep. So that's just a way, if you have some extra time and you wanna read some articles that are beneficial, these are just some WW articles on how to be successful with their program. Then the last tab, if you click, which shows like the 3 icons of people, that is WW Connect. And that is a really good tool. I really love it. I think it's a good way for people to not worry about anything else other than WW. Like, I really haven't seen anything other than people supporting each other on here or asking questions. And so it's really been a positive place that I've seen so far. I've really never seen anything super negative. But you have your own WW Connect account. You can go ahead and hit share with us and type any type of status. You can type of question. If you want to hit add a photo, a lot of times I like to upload my meals on here or my transformation pictures, and that way you're just sharing them with other people. It's very similar to Instagram, but it's like the WW version, so it's just WW members. You can also hit create a poll, type a question, and 3 choices for people to vote on. Like if I'm scrolling through, the first one is a poll: how often do you go on the scale? Once a month, once a week, every day. Then someone shared a meal, someone shared that they got their charm. So it's just a really positive environment for extra support if that's something you're looking for. And you can even search like different groups. So like 0 Point Foods protein I can click into, and then it's just people posting specifically about that. If you look at the top of the app where there are the 3 lines, so if you click notifications, that's just gonna be your notifications for Connect. If anyone followed you, if anyone commented or liked your post or something, that's what that's for. If you hit profile, that's gonna take you to your profile where you can change your picture. I finally just added a picture to my Connect. That is where you're gonna find the 24/7 live coaching button. So you can click that, hit chat now, and you can just start talking to someone about if you have a question or something or you need support with WW. So you start with a virtual assistant, you answer some short questions, and I think that they connect you to someone else if you get more in detail or need more help, but that's how you do the 24/7 coaching. If you hit invite a friend, that's where you get the link to invite a friend for a free month. If you scroll down a little bit, it'll show your weigh-ins. So it'll show my weight from the start, my weight since the last weigh-in, and then if you want to click see all, you can just show all of your weigh-ins that you've had in the past. Now, this is a feature I don't really use personally, but you might find it helpful. If you click those 3 lines again back on the home page, you can hit your weekly plan, and that's where you can make a meal plan. You can just put in the meals so that everything's pre-tracked. Pre-tracking is actually something that's so helpful when it comes to WW. Adam pre-tracks his meals every time he goes to work, and it is just so convenient. It really helps him stay consistent with it. And I know a lot of people have an easier time if they know what meal they're making that night, if they just pre-track it. So that's what your weekly plan is for. You can go ahead and create a whole meal plan with any recipes you have made or any recipes in the app already. From the front page of the app, if you scroll down a little bit under where you track your food for the day, there is activity you can track. So if you hit the track button, it will take you to your activity. So actually today I went ice skating. So I'm gonna type in ice skating. We'll see how many points I got for that. And we actually did, I'll say 90, we did like 90 minutes of actual ice skating. So I got 10 points from that. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit track activity. Now those points, it tracked on this page as you can see, but it also put the points back in my weeklies. So you can see my weeklies just went up. Then the other thing you can do is you can track your sleep. I personally don't do this. I know that it's something really helpful. You can connect like a Fitbit or like the Apple Health or Map My Run. You can use different apps to connect that are like tracking apps that track sleep and activity if you want to do that. But again, that's something I don't personally do. But if it works better for you, definitely do it, especially if you have a Fitbit or something. I just personally don't. And then one more thing I was going to say is that the little blue plus sign in the bottom right hand corner, if you hit that, that's just a quick way to track anything. So you can hit track food and the track food button pops up. You can hit track activity, that pops up. Track weight, that's usually how I track my weight, is just that button, and then I enter my weight. So say I'm going to track that, tracked my weight for today, and then you can track your sleep, which you just enter what time you fell asleep, what time did you wake up, and how much time did you spend awake during the night, and then how you're feeling. One more thing I want to go over is just the settings in the app. So if you go to your main page, which you'll just click the circle, or if you already set a profile picture in the top right hand corner, you'll click that, and then you'll see the setting button, the like little gear in the top right hand corner. So that'll get you to your settings. Now you can go to food settings. This is where you can also retake the 0 Point Food assessment if you want to do that. You can hit current focus, and mine is currently set on healthy habits, which is technically the maintenance mode. So you can do weight loss and healthy habits, which will decrease your dailies by like 4 points or something, or it might depend on how many you get. And then healthy habits is what I'm at, and that's supposed to just keep me at my maintenance. If you really wanted, you could switch your daily target, but usually I just let the program do it. You can turn rollovers off. So if you don't use all of your dailies in a day, up to 4 points roll over to your weeklies. So like I get 24, say I only use 21 points today, 3 points will go into my weekly bank for the rest of the week. If you don't want that, hit rollovers and hit off, and then it will turn them off. And then one last setting for food, if you are breastfeeding, you should click I am breastfeeding. Then going back, you can hit water settings. This is the same setting that if you clicked the gear on the front page by the water, it just takes you to adjust your increments that you track water in. You can go to your activity settings. You can change your current target. Mine was set based on the original assessment when I first started the app, so I think that's how everyone's is, but you can change it if you don't want to do as much activity. And this is also where you're going to go ahead and sync up any type of Apple Health, Fitbit, any device that you're going to be using. If you hit weight settings, this is where you put your starting weight, you put your goal weight, and you put your weigh-in day, which I don't know why my weigh-in day changed. It was supposed to be Tuesday. It's always been Tuesdays, but you can switch your weigh-in day to any day of the week, whatever works best for you. We picked Tuesday from the beginning and found that that was just what worked best for us, and we've just kept it that way. But you can always change your goal weight if you want, and that is it for weight settings. If you go to connect settings, this is where you just set your profile to public if you want it, or you can set it to private. And I actually have video autoplay off, so if a video pops up, you have to click it to start it instead of it just playing on its own. You can set different notifications, so I had my weigh-in notification every week that reminded me to do my weigh-in, and all these different notifications, but you can always turn those off. And then there's also Siri shortcuts, which I never really use Siri, but if you're someone who uses Siri, you can use that to track points. You just have to add these commands to your Siri, but you can add any of these where it just adds points, it tells you your budget, it'll tell you your wins, and it'll track like past meals even. Okay, so that pretty much wraps it up for the entire WW app. I think I pretty much went through everything. The things I definitely use the most are the food tracking with the barcode scanner. But like I mentioned, a lot of times I've been double checking to make sure the nutrition matches up, which I guess I didn't explain. When you scan a food or when you select a food, if you scroll down to the bottom, that's where the nutritional information is. So that is where you will check if the fat, saturated fat, fiber, all of that matches up to the actual label that's in front of you. Anyway, that's probably what I use the most. I usually don't consistently track my activity. I do a better job of that when I'm doing rollerblading, so I like to track that through Map My Fitness, but I don't usually track my weightlifting when I go to the gym. But if it's something that keeps you on track, it really is a beneficial tool. I just sometimes don't like to see those extra points added back because then I'm more likely to just eat more, honestly, and that's just what works for me, but it's what works best for you. The recipe builder is also a really helpful tool. We have made a bunch of recipes in there, like different soups we like to make or chilies. A lot of times if I'm making a big batch of something, it's easy to just enter all the ingredients and then when I'm done, decide how many servings I want and just divide it by that, and then it just gives you the number of points for the servings. So that just makes it a lot easier for us. We use the restaurant tab. We find that really helpful to track if we're gonna be going to a restaurant or just to find different ideas, looking at what the points are for different foods. And I don't know, that's pretty much it. Like I said, I really like the Connect tab as well if you're looking to just get some extra support or see what other people are saying about their program or their journey. It's just a good way to connect with people who are actually on WW. That wraps up everything for the WW app. I hope you guys found this video helpful. And if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them below. I will try to get back to you about them, anything about the app or just the program in general. This is all just based on my personal experience and us using the app very consistently. So I hope we can help you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and I'll see you next time.